us. As you can tell, three of these gentlemen are from the 11th District, which just an honor to be able to represent. But as as we saw the Easter freeze and we saw the floods obviously come through Haywood County, we've seen devastation. And I just want everyone to know of what an impact that these three gentlemen have in our communities on a day in and day out basis with the volunteerism, the things that they do, the work that they associated with, the committees that they're on. They truly are the backbone of our communities and what they're able to establish. And so before I introduce Mark, I wanted to just tell them how much I appreciate what they do in our communities, especially when it comes to our farmers and the workforce. Our next witness is Mark Williams. Mr. Williams is the Chief Financial Officer for Flavor First Growers and Packers in Horseshoe, North Carolina. Mr. Williams is also Commissioner, Liaison of the Agricultural Advisory Board in Henderson County. Mr. Williams, you'll be recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Schuler, Ranking Member Lukemeyer, and other members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to present today. As mentioned, I do serve as Chief Financial Officer for Flavor First Growers and Packers. Additionally, serve currently as a County Commissioner in Henderson County, North Carolina. Also happen to be a part owner of a small family farm, growing apples as well as of some ornamental trees. Primarily to tell you a little bit about Flavor First. It is a grower, packer, shipper, and a repacker specializing in tomatoes, sweet corn, and other southern vegetables. We source product year-round and have operations from Florida all the way up to North Carolina, with our primary facility be located there in the state of North Carolina. We also partner with and depend upon a number of small growers to serve our customers, and our customer base basically includes larger chain-type stores, grocery stores, as well as food service companies. We certainly appreciate the inclusion of specialty crops in the Farm Bill, and we hope to see continued support in the future. Today's topic, the future of specialty crops for small farmers, is a broad one. I want to briefly touch upon three different issues, food safety being one, risk management, and also credit access. In regard to food safety, the United States arguably has the safest source of food in the world. Over 1 billion servings of produce are consumed each day in the United States, and it happens with almost without a food safety incident. Of course, one is too many. At the same time, consumer confidence is probably at an all-time low, which presents a threat to the industry. And the federal government, I feel like, can help protect public health and also help build consumer confidence when it comes to consumption of produce. But in doing so, it does have to be cautious so as not to devastate small family farms or entire commodity groups. Public policy principles should include a commodity-specific approach based on the best science available. I think it needs to be consistent throughout the U.S. and have the same standards for produce that's being imported into the country. I think that's critical. It needs to be federally mandated with reasonable oversight, just to give the credibility. Additionally, we can't afford to have multiple standards with food safety audits. Currently, different customers require audit programs or standards, which is inefficient and costly to producer. It needs to be tiered levels of standards, I feel like, based on farm size and customer base. With too stringent regulation, a small farmer simply may choose to quit or economically be forced out of business. Flavor First paid approximately $25,000 in this past year just to set up our current food safety plan that we have in place, and that's the initial requirement plus the ongoing cost. Most small farmers simply can't afford that. A sound science-based program is also imperative, as once a recall is issued, there's immediate impact, and even if there's no fault by producers of the product implicated, damaging effects can last for years. Flavor First lost an estimated $400,000 last year due to the salmonella scare with tomatoes, and to my knowledge, not a single tomato tested positive for the bacteria. After the event, there was no government statement clearing tomatoes. An issue of risk management. Others have and probably will talk about this particular topic, and I addressed it in my written testimony. I'll simply say the federal crop insurance program does need work concerning specialty crops. We have some of the highest value products on a per acre basis, and there's a high level of cost associated in bringing those crops into production. Availability to cost effectively protect against loss is needed. Additionally, our growing seasons often don't coincide with USDA's crop years, and past programs have favored some areas over others and distorted markets. Finally, on access to credit, it's essential for a successful business. It's particularly important to agriculture given their susceptibility to weather-related events and other uncontrollable factors. Though the farm credit system has operated in a responsible, conservative manner for many years, they're not immune to the credit crisis. Their sources of funds have constricted, along with the rest of the global banking system. In regards to commercial banks, we've experienced in this past year an increase, what we're looking at, of rates being offered of 250 basis points higher than what we saw last year, even though the markets actually would indicate that the price should be cheaper. We're also seeing more stringent balloons. Loan guarantees have their place. Low interest rates have their place in terms of government help. But the underwriting process and the application process tends to be burdensome, and there's little enticement for banks to use FSA guarantees. Most farmers that remain in operation today are good managers. Given tremendous risk associated with their business, all they're asking for is a fair chance to continue to operate in this unusual economic circumstance that we currently face. Nobody's looking for handouts. We're just looking for a handout. So appreciate your time.